Like, even if you had the vision, like maybe I would save my wife in this situation. If she's telling you, hey, no matter what, you need to save the kids, cool. You know what I'm saying? It goes towards that. But honestly, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just thinking that and something hit me, bro. I'm saving my kids, bro.
I'm
saving my kids. I'm saving my kids, bro. I am. I gotta say that. I was like,
What up, what up, what up? It's your favorite podcast with your favorite podcast host. Talking your favorite podcast message. Talking the favorite podcast stuff. What's happening? It's Freewenow.
till it is backwards.
Yes, sir. Ski. Hey, listen up. You know it's the smooth hour, so you know it's the radio show.
Boy got that 12 o'clock voice.
You know what I'm saying?
It just hit 1 a.m. voice.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up, baby? What you doing? You know what I mean? Hey, listen, man. We got a good one for y'all today. You know, your realest foot forward.
It's one of my favorite segments.
Yeah, it's turning one of my favorites as well because I'm actually getting to learn a lot about each other, and it's causing us to, you know, for y'all to learn about us and see how we think on the fly and think deep. You know what I mean? It's not pre-recorded. Nothing is pre-recorded.
We don't
right?
see the questions.
We don't see the questions. Very unscripted, right? And so, what you got for people before we get into it?
Hey, man, God will put you back together in front of the same people that broke you. It is not your job to get revenge. The greatest revenge is doing the things that they said you never could.
Somebody said it couldn't be done, but he would have chuckled replied that maybe he couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so we tried. If you know, you know. You know what I'm talking about? All righty then, broski. What you got for me? We got 4 questions. We got 4 questions each. We're gonna try to get to 4 questions each. But yeah, we're gonna have our realist reaction, put our realist foot forward, and just see with us. I'm feeling a little monologue-ish. All right?
You know he let a monologue.
You know what I'm saying? I might get on my soapbox today. You feel me?
Hey, man, if y'all can, actually try to stay home with your friends, your family. It's called the Real Foot Forward segment for a real reason, because we asking real questions to real people about real things.
Yeah.
All right. So in 2024, it's the year of growth. It's the year of change for me and Hassan. We're trying to be better. We're trying to do more. We're trying to get out of the old habits. So with all that being said, what has been the hardest area of growth for you, and what things do you feel like you continue to go back to?
The hardest area of growth, I think being consistent and not seeing the results. Right? Like,
That'll make a lot of people quit.
Being consistent and not seeing the results and the amount of time as well that I expected to see them. Right? A lot of times it's so hard to be consistent when you can't see the work or you can't see the progression of how you're changing. I can't see, when I go to the gym, it's hard for me to see that, like, I'm getting buffer, that I'm getting stronger, because I'm with me every day. But like somebody who hasn't seen me or anything, like I FaceTime my mom the other day and she like,
boy, you getting strong.
I say, you know, hey, you know how I do, you know why. But for me, every day going to the gym, bro, it's hard for me to see that, because I'm with myself every day. So I think being consistent, bro, in the midst of not seeing results in the time frame that I would like to see them, right? So I think that's a big one that I am realizing that's the root. Right, that's the root, which causes the symptom of me wanting to feel bad for myself. So, let me just indulge in pleasures. Right, I'd rather, instead of me facing the truth that, like, it's actually working, and just because you don't see the results right now, it is working. Just because we're not popping right now, it is working, right? But staying consistent no matter what. Right, like no matter, and also, bro, changing what I even see to be success. Because if I think 1 million followers is success,
you won't be happy till you get it.
I won't be happy till I get it, and now I'm doing things for the wrong reasons. Right, I had to change. One part of it is being consistent, right, and seeing results. But now I'm realizing I have to even change what I even feel like are results. I have to change my mental image of what I feel like are actually the results that I should be looking for, right? Like I can't be looking to make $1 million by tomorrow, because now I'm gonna start doing things that's gonna try to bring $1 million. That's not healthy for me.
Not healthy.
Right. So the same thing is true in this aspect. I have to change my view of success and the time frame of what I feel like the results that I should be seeing should be there. Right. So, which I realize, oh, why am I like indulging in my pleasures? Like, why am I like going back on my word? It's really because I'm not seeing what I wanted to see, and what I wanted to see is not even what I should even be striving to see. You feel me? So I feel like that's the biggest one for me right now. What about yourself?
One thing that one area of growth that's been the hardest for me. Honestly, it's this one caught me off guard. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting. I was like, he gonna give me a different question.
No.
So the hardest area of growth for me, honestly, has been getting out of old habits. So old habits with me die hard. I'm very much a person of habit. Like I park in the same area when I go to work. Mm-hmm. Like I eat the same foods. Like I watch the same shows. I kind of have the same routine when I go home, when I go into work. Like it's like so routine for me. It's very hard to break out of those habits. Mm-hmm. And of course, a good amount of them are healthy habits, right? Mm-hmm. Getting up at early in the morning to go work out with my trainer, looking at my investment portfolio, trying to find different ways to make money, things like that. But there are also very bad habits that I have. Mm-hmm. And they're so hard for me to break because I'm almost like, in a sense, an all or nothing person. So I haven't found the very best balance of tapering stuff off. Mm-hmm. I just jump to one extreme. Yeah. So if I'm trying to break a habit, I'm like cold turkey. Cold turkey is the only way that I'm going to break this habit. Yeah. And then it may work for a week, 2 weeks, even sometimes 3 or 4 months. And then I'll have one slip up or one setback or one time where I do that and I'm fully back indulged into that addiction or that bad habit. Yeah. So me going forward, I'm trying to find a perfect balance on how to get to the objectives that I want without overstretching myself or putting an unrealistic expectation of what I can do in that sense. Right. Because there have been things that I've been able to quit cold turkey. Like there's been plenty of things, but a lot of these really, really heavy embedded habits into me, these ones that I really don't want to see, or these things that I enjoy doing, even though I know they're not good for me. Right. It's like they got a death grip on me. Right. It's like, yes, I'm getting away and they tap my ankle and I trip. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just grabbing into a shoelace to bring me back to where I know that I doesn't belong. You know what I'm saying? Like I juked them, but they caught me down the field because I ran out of breath. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that to find the balance on a way to break some of these habits that are very deeply rooted into me.
No, I definitely can agree with that, bro. And I have a lot of habits that I'm trying to break as well. And I realized habits start with thoughts.
What you consume.
Right? So how do you, it's hard to just no longer have those thoughts or no longer do this or no longer do that. What I realize now I have to start doing, bro, is replacing that
with a different vice.
So if I don't replace what I used to do with something that's positive, or replace what I used to listen to with something that's positive, replace what I'm used to watching with something that's positive, and I'm just, instead of watching something positive, I think I'm just gonna stop doing the negative. Mm-hmm. Right? Like if I have to, like, even with like going out, right? Okay, instead of me saying, oh, I'm not gonna go out anymore, I need to put a workout on Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Something that keeps you from doing that.
Something, right? Or I need to be, instead of me going out on Friday night, I need to be recording a podcast on Friday night. Yeah. Right? Instead of, me going out on Saturday night, I need to have a meetup, right? Or go to a summit or a conference or be around or in an environment or create or curate the ambiance and environment that causes me to no longer have my thoughts, my focus, my vision on something that's not positive, right, and is on something that's negative, I have to replace that because an idle mind breeds bad behavior.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm just sitting around chilling and I'm bored, I end up getting into something that I ain't supposed to get into, or I end up just distracted and wasting time.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to be intentional on replacing, my thoughts with better thoughts to cause me to have better habits.
Another thing that I've also I've been trying to implement is I'm making it harder for me to do those bad habits. Like I'm putting roadblocks into the way where I just get to a point where I'm like, this is too much to do this habit that I'm really trying to break.
Right. It's
like,
too much.
Like it's like when you get upstairs and you left the light on all the way at the bottom, the third floor, you're like, I'm not going to turn that light off. I can leave that light on for a night. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or you got upstairs, you got into your bed, you got comfortable, and you realize you left your phone or your alarm downstairs. You're like, you know what? I wake up on time. My body's used to it. So putting these barriers in front of these habits that I no longer want to see, making them harder, but also in return making the good habits easier. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of celebrating grocery shopping by going out to eat, just cook, like bringing some food from the grocery store that's already cooked. So I can use that as that kind of that temper between going to the opposite of what I want to do.
Right. No, for sure. No, I definitely feel that. Okay. Who comes first? Your wife or your kids?
My wife or my kids? So I've been going back and forth honestly on this for a couple of years now. You know what I'm saying? I dated a woman who made me reconsider what I thought. Cause like off the top of the rip, I was like, kids come first.
Yeah.
Like kids are first no matter what. Like I'm choosing my kids, right? But then somebody said something that really like made me almost change my outlook. You don't get to pick your kids. Sometimes people have terrible kids. Like some people's kids put their parents through the ringer, bro. I'm talking about they are awful individuals. No matter how much good you impart in, some people's kids are just terrible, bro. Just terrible. You don't get to choose your kids, but your significant other, like your wife, you put in so much time and effort into that one individual. And y'all were not on the same page maybe when y'all first met. Maybe everything seemed great, but it's been years after years and years of y'all working, not only working through building an empire in your family, not only working through how do I treat this woman, not only falling in and out of love with this person, but continuing every day to learn a new way to love them. You know what I'm saying? Like you put in so much work, and I'm like, for me to discredit the amount of work that I put into building a relationship with this individual for somebody who just popped up because they're a part of me. No disrespect. Like, yes, they're a part of me, but like it's almost very hard to kind of comprehend what I would do. Honestly, I don't think I have a true answer for that. Like it's almost one of those things where I'd have to be in the moment, and I think my instincts would take over. And then also I think it goes into the fact of what your partner views as well. Like I think if you have a wife that is like, yo, our kids are more important no matter what, choose them, then it almost kind of imparts the same thing on you. Like even if you had the vision, like maybe I would save my wife in this situation. If she's telling you, hey, no matter what, you need to save the kids, cool. You know what I'm saying? It goes towards that. But honestly, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just thinking that and something hit me, bro. I'm saving my kids, bro. I'm saving my kids. I'm saving my kids, bro. I am. I gotta save them. I was like, and I said all of that, and I do mean all of that. I do mean everything I said. Like it is a very hard decision, bro. But I just thought of a moment where it was like you gotta grab your little kid, or you gotta grab your wife, bro. And I just thought of having a kid looking up at me, bro. Like my kid looking up at me, and they don't have anybody else to protect them or do anything for them. And I was like, sorry, babe. Sorry, babe. Let me get my guy. And then also
let me grab my mini-me.
Another thing I also had to think of too is imagine trying to continue a relationship with somebody after you allowed your kid to die to save them. Now, one thing I think about a lot of individuals, I would say about women in general, they start off with a much closer connection than a man does with a child, just because they've held them for 9 months. Like, yes, and a man you add into it, but they have just a different connection, right?
For sure.
And just as the womanly nature, they are very like overprotective. As a man, we kind of sit back and let a kid be a kid, like grow up, like, hey, you can get up. You know what I'm saying? But like, imagine trying to bring your woman back from that after you allowed your kid to die. Like, would she trust you to do anything with any other kids? Would she trust you to protect her? Like, what type of stuff can come from that?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
I feel what you're saying.
What you doing?
I'm saving my wife.
Oh,
I'm saving my wife. And it took me a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, this has been like years of me like really contemplating and thinking about it. But I'm saving my wife. And I just think that there's like one of the most important decisions that you can make in your life outside of like going with God, aligning with God, and accepting the gift that Jesus Christ put on the line for you, gave his life for you. The next greatest decision that you can make, bro, is who you choose as a partner.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so like, it's so hard to like find a great partner. It's so hard to just find great people in general, especially your partner that you're supposed to be your best friend you're going through life with. And like you mentioned, like all the work that it takes to for y'all to build each other up and to even mold each other into the person that you want your partner to be. I'm going with my wife, bro, because it sounds a little harsh, but like we can make more kids.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like for me to go and find somebody and put in all this work, like nah. And the thing is, bro, is like, yes, the wife will have an emotional reaction. She will be like, oh my gosh, like the kids, like we need to say the kids, but it's like I'm thinking more on the sense of like reasonably and logically. And these are my kids, I love them, right? But like the hierarchy of the house, we talk about that a lot and how it's supposed to be structured. I think it also makes it hard because socially we don't see that. Like we're so conditioned to be like, put the kids first. Mm-hmm. So we're not used to really being in a sense where it's more like family oriented. You know what I mean? Like we've never seen, I know I haven't been conditioned to see like a royal family where everybody is family first, putting the good of the family above your personal interests. Mm-hmm. Right? So the good of the family, now I got 3 kids or 2 kids or whatever, and now the kid has to grow up without a mother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I saved you, when like in reality, if we got more siblings or whatever, everybody would be better off having your wife, having that mom figure in the crib, in my opinion. So I'm saving my wife. It took me a while to get there though, so that's how I'm coming.
Caveat to that. 2 caveats.
Okay.
Say your wife says, you must save our kids. Don't save me.
I'm saving
her. And then
her.
Second, say that, what was I about to say? I forgot. It'll come back to me later. It was a second caveat that I had that probably would have made it harder to make that decision.
No, I'm saving her. Because
what if you couldn't have any other kids? Like, that was the only kid.
How many kids do I have right now?
No, it's 1 kid. That was the only kid you would ever have in your entire life. And it was either the wife or say the kid. What are you doing? Are you still saving your wife? Removing the option to have another child.
With anybody.
With anybody. It's your only kid.
I'm going with my wife, bro.
Oh.
I'm going with my wife.
That's a dedicated man right there.
And then I'm going with my wife, and we're just going to have to adopt a kid.
Nah, you don't get that option.
Oh,
stop trying to have an out.
Bro, you said I can't have
you can't have any other kids. You can't buy one. You can't adopt one. You can't do none of this.
So
all or nothing.
So if I save my kid, I still wouldn't be able to have a kid with nobody else?
Yeah, you still wouldn't have a kid with nobody else.
I'm going to go with my wife then. Because, like, I rather go through life with my person. Because even, like, now, I think what makes relationships great is because you're the ability to have kids. That's why you see even, you know, other people, other ideas type couples, they still want to adopt a kid.
So you think not being able to have a kid takes away part of the value of having a relationship?
If you're trying to, for a family, I think that's just the natural, bro. Animals procreate.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything else. That's just in their nature.
But we know other stuff though. We know more than just procreation.
That's what I'm saying. No matter how much you know, how much intellectually, how much knowledge you have, how much ability that you can to create $1 million and live a different lifestyle. A horse gonna always have a horse life.
Yeah.
Right? And we still wanna procreate. You You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, in my opinion, that's like, it just, I don't have no kids, not that I know of, right? But it seems like that adds a unexplainable, just words can't even describe, bro, to have like your kids and have a family. You know what I'm saying? So like, even you see bears or lions go crazy after they cubs. You know what I'm saying? So like, even a woman, a human being like a woman will fight a bear for her children. You know what I'm saying? Even a man, people lifting up cars and get these super type human abilities that they get when they're trying to save their child. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just something that like I would like to experience, and that other people even like to experience, even if they can't have them naturally. You know what I'm saying? So like,
we're gonna have to revisit this question when you had kids.
No,
and
for
see
sure.
If it changes.
Now we will have to,
that'll be
not when they're babies and kids, because when they're, I'll probably be like, right. But like in 10 years, give it 10 years, let it cook. You know, they're gonna be productive citizens of society.
All right. So, talking about kids, so building your lineage, building your empire, having that reach.
Yeah.
What do you want people to say about Hassan Abdullah when you are gone?
That's tough.
What do you want people to say about you when you're gone?
What I want people to say is, number one, is that I wasn't perfect, but I did what I could to live for God. Right? Number one. Number two, I want to be known as one of the people that gave the most away. Right? Like, whether that's energy, time, resources, money, influence. Like, I'm really understanding now that all of this is rented. Like, our lives, our bodies, like, we're just renting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the houses we live in, the life, everything, bro, we're just renting. Right? And so I would like to strive to give the most away to be able to please God, right? Like, that's the only way I feel like I will ever be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I want to have a family, create generational wealth, and do all of that jazz, right? But, like, if one thing that you can remember about me is, like, know that he was the person that whatever he had, whatever he was able to do, he gave the most away, right? And so, like we mentioned earlier, we talked about the two things that I noticed great men do in the Bible is they walk with God and they have an altar. And so I want to pattern myself after those same things. So when I leave, I want people to say, yo, he walked with God and he worshiped him and he gave his best away. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why we even know Noah. That's why we know Abraham. That's why we know Moses. That's why we know any great man. That's why we know David, right? Solomon, like, God asked Solomon, I'll give you anything on the world. I'll give you anything in the world. I'll give you anything. What do you want? He was like, King Solomon said, give me the wisdom to live out my purpose and lead the people that I'm called to lead. Right? He could have asked for anything. And so I just noticed that these great men are unselfish. And so I have been working extremely hard to become unselfish. Like, I realize that sometimes I want to build generational wealth, or in the past I wanted to build generational wealth, or have a booming podcast, or have $1 billion or be whatever, right, for me. And I feel like that's why a lot of times, I was mentioning earlier, changing my view of my results, changing my view of what I think is successful, because I'll start doing things for the wrong reasons. And it'll start, like you said, stretching yourself thin because you have the wrong mental picture. You're chasing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you'll never be fulfilled like that. So to answer your question, I want you to remember me for those same two things that we remember him for. Like, he walked with God and he built an altar. He worshiped God. He gave his best away. I gave my best away. My resources, my influence, my, money, my knowledge, wisdom, whatever I have, I want to know and be known as I gave that away. You feel me? And so, maybe, I don't know, maybe by the time we get to the New Testament, I might have something different for you.
Might have something
different. You feel
different.
me? But like right now, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at mentally. And that's what also gives me peace, and I'm able to stay level, and I'm able not to be stressed out and I'm able to like also lead and make great decisions because I'm like, I'm not thinking for myself. I'm thinking for God's people. Be fruitful and multiply. You feel me? Like I'm multiplying for everybody else. Be unselfish. And so when I realized it's also harder to become depressed, it's also harder to be sad. It's also harder to have a woe is me victim mentality when you're focused on other people. When you start thinking about, we talked about it a while ago about like lack and abundance. Like the first sin that man fell to was focus on their lack instead of their abundance.
Yeah.
And you do that while you start being selfish. Well, why don't I have this? That person had it. Why don't I have? Well, start comparing yourself. Well, maybe I should have. You know what I'm saying? You saw me, I. Depressed, sad. Over a long time now I'm depressed because I'm focused on what I lack. Right? It's hard for me to get sad. It's hard for me to become depressed because I'm so unselfish. Like bro, like anything I learn, any podcast that I watch, anything that's, in my opinion, I feel like is going to help somebody, bro, I'm sending it out. Even, bro, from music to fashion to investments to real estate to God to, bro, anything that I learn, exercise, fitness, like anything that I do, bro, I'm trying to give it away. You feel me? So, that was a long-winded answer. But like, yeah, I think that's what I
went around the world with that one.
I did.
Nah,
I took y'all on a trip in my favorite rocket ship.
That's good stuff. I
moving
like that.
through the stars. All right. Okay. What is your plan to? Actually, no, I'm gonna say that one. How has your life changed since reading the Bible more consistently to prepare for our Bible studies?
How has my life changed? It showed me the lack of quality in my life when I'm not reading it. So hope y'all didn't miss that. It showed me the lack of quality in my life when I didn't read it. When I'm consistently reading the Bible, and though I'm not telling y'all right now I'm the greatest right now, I still gotta pump myself up some days. Yeah, I really do. I don't want to be flogging on here. I want to be transparent. I still got to pump myself some days. Right? And this podcast definitely helps me stay in that because I have to be able to provide this type of quality, this type of depth. Because if I don't, I'm gonna come up here and be like, what did you say? Right. So it showed me the lack of quality when I don't. Right. And don't get me wrong, I didn't think my life was terrible prior to doing it, but I would see the difference in my motivation, the difference in the products that I was creating, receiving, the difference in how I woke up, the difference in how I walked, the difference in how I talked, the difference about my entire being. Like when I would even go to work, people are like, yo, something's a little different about you. And it was because of the things that I were reading and realizing in the Bible. And then it also is teaching me so many different things about myself. Like it's requiring me to slow down. They got to a point where I was like, just reading through the Bible, I'm going to do a chapter a day. I'm going to do chapter a day. And I got to a point I was like, I have no idea what I read. I have no idea what I read at all. I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you anything about what I read. So I had to go all the way back to the beginning and start over and slow down and not just read it through and just be like, all right, that was cool. Read it, do. What did I get out of it? What does this mean to me? How does this affect my life? What can I take out of this verse, this sentence, this word, and implement it into my life and make myself better? And then it also made conversations with people that were already in a different spiritual realm than myself a lot easier and a lot more transparent. Like with my mom, one thing about my mom, love my mom to death, love her. She is like one of the most God-fearing women I've ever met in my life. And when I wasn't in the Bible, I did not know how to deal with that. I did not know how to accept it. Like she would even tell me, she was like, every time I pray, it just seems like you're so annoyed. I'm so serious. She was like, it seems like you're so annoyed. Like I was literally holding her hands, eyes closed, like, this woman gonna hurry up. So I'm trying to get on the road, trying to go out and drink. I know they turning up without me. Like, what's going on? Come on, mom. Right. She like, you know what I'm saying? She's really deep dived in that, but it made the conversation a little better. I remember after one of the podcasts we had, one of the first podcasts where I really realized this is what we were supposed to do. And when I really realized this is the gift that we were both called to impart on people. When I called her after that, bro, I broke down crying, bro. I really did. I broke down crying. I was, and not just know. I was, mom, like, I finally see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was really legit, like, breaking down crying because I started to realize, like, the type of information that I could get from the Bible, and not just the Bible in a sense, but type of information that I had always been getting in my life from God. Like he was steering me to a place that I had no idea until I realized that I was at the destination. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like essentially right now we're at the destination, but I do feel like this is a start of a journey that almost like we in a Tesla, like it's driving itself. You know what I'm saying? Like all I got to do is continue to grow in myself, continue to read the word, continue to find different ways. Like even when you were on the podcast and you like, one of the things I want to be with God is thankful. I just want to wake up every morning and thank God. Like I do that now to a T. Like I wake up and I thank God. Even if it's later in the day, I try to thank God like, hey God, thank you. I get on the road, God, hey, thank you. You know, thank you. I made it safe. Hey God, when we get on this podcast, every single talk, let your objectives, let what you're trying to impart in people come out of our mouths. You know what I'm saying? Let the information you're trying to get to other people come from us. Let us be your vessels to get people to the point that you want them at, right? And also help us, right? So that we can be impartial to you, so that we don't sit here and try to follow in the devil's ways and oppose yours. You know what I'm saying? So like reading the Bible has really taught me a lot about myself, and it also taught me a lot about what I refuse to see or what I lack. So it's been a great journey, and I feel like, bro, we literally on chapter 8 of Genesis, book 1. Bro, like book 1. I really try not to go too far in the far in the Bible before we get a chance to come on here and talk about it, because a lot of things that you say gives me ideas on things that I may need to go back and read I try to get it in many different ways. Like I try to read it, I try to listen to it, I try to visualize, see it. Like your grandma, when she put me on that AI Bible joint, that is tough.
Bro, that's very tough.
And it makes things a lot clearer when I see it from different ways, right? So another long-winded answer, I had to get on my monologue on my soapbox. You know what I'm saying? The Bible has showed me where certain things that I lack.
No, absolutely. No, that's deep. That's deep. I can agree with a lot of that stuff. I definitely can agree. And the AI thing he's talking about is, if you guys go on YouTube and just type in AI Genesis, what was it?
I think I got it written down, but I can't. It's probably in my notes somewhere.
Yeah,
AI Bible sagas.
Yeah, go to YouTube and type in AI Bible sagas. I think it may be sagas. I don't know. Anyway, type that in, SAGA. Type it in, and you'll be blown away about seeing these Bible stories with real people and somebody
how they supposed to look.
How they supposed to look, right? Black people in the Bible. Mind you, that is a picture. Let them see that again. That is Black Jesus right there on his arm.
And it ain't even Black Jesus, it's Jesus.
That's true.
It's Jesus.
It's Jesus, because Jesus. There you go.
Yeah, it's Jesus.
Facts. The fact that we even got to.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm
specify
even. Right. The fact that I even. That's a knee-jerk reaction. I'm not gonna say that no more either. Because he was. All right. What you got?
So into the next question, right? And I think this is a very important question that you have to ask your friends and your family members. And when you ask it, you gotta be. Gotta be specific.
Let me get some water.
On what type of answer you want. So in this world when everybody is going through things and you never know, people are dealing with things in their lives and you never know, because you never take the time to truly ask them while looking in their eyes, how are you doing? and not know I'm good, bro. Like, how are you doing, bro?
Man, I was just trying to. Oh man, that's a great question, bro. I think how I'm doing right now, bro, is accepting I am battling, I guess, accepting who God wants me to be. Right? And so battling, like you mentioned earlier, previous habits, previous vices, and understanding that I will be better off just like holistically. I will feel better, because a lot of times we think pleasures make us feel better, right?
Very temporary.
And it's very temporary. It's instant. It's the instant gratification. But knowing that my life will be better, God created me for a reason, right? So if I'm going against my design, I will always be frustrated, right? Like if I'm trying to use an iPhone for something that is not meant to be used for, it's not going to work.
Using an iPhone as a hammer.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to nail a hammer into a wall with my iPhone and wonder why the phone is breaking down, or the hammer is not, if the nail is not going in, I'm going to be frustrated. The iPhone's frustrated. The nail's frustrated. Nothing's getting done. Everybody's stressed out, right? When in reality, if you use a hammer and a nail, you'll get it done a lot faster and a lot smoother and a lot less stress. So understanding that I will be better off feelings wise, emotional wise, number one, because everybody's about their feelings now, right? By being who God called me to be and understanding that there's a reason the way I am, right? And that I was called to do something and being okay and accepting that, even if no one ever knows who I am.
Mm.
And I don't think that is my destiny, right? But just being okay with becoming who God wants me to be, regardless of what anybody says, how I feel in the moment, or what feedback I get, right? Or what feedback I think I should get, right? Being okay with that and just, honestly, bro, just leaning into that, right? And trusting him that he will remember me, you know what I'm saying? And that he won't forsake me or be like, hey, I got you this far, but now, all right, it's you on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand that we're doing all this for a reason. I don't even think we even got the full picture yet.
We don't. We got a
We have
minuscule
a
part.
very small window into what probably God has for us. Like, I don't know where this is going to lead off to, like what is going to springboard from this, right? Like, who would have thought, you know, you go into the military and then you choose this location, this ship, you know what I'm saying? You get put in this department and then now we super tight for forever, and then
off one phone call, you feel me?
You feel all right?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna edit.
Off one phone call,
we're gonna edit that out.
Me?
We're gonna edit that out. That's the wrong 1911.
Oh, not the right one.
You feel me? But just knowing that like God is ordering my steps and just lean in and trust Him and just become the person that He wants me to be. So that's I think when you're to your answer your question, how are you doing? Just that mental battle, bro. That mental conflict of going through that and understanding that. You know what I mean?
That's good, man. That's good to hear.
How you doing?
Bro, I'm confused, bro.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm at a point in my life where it's a growth session, and I'm confused on some of the steps that I have to make. I'm confused on how to break out of some of the habits I have to do. I'm confused on, a lot of things that I have to change. And a lot of people think being confused in certain situations is bad, but I think it shows me that I'm trying to obtain growth. It shows me that when I do something that I know I'm not supposed to do and I'm confused on how do I stop doing that I'm looking for a solution. So before you can obtain a solution, you have to be confused on the outcome. Before you can solve a problem, you have to be confused on how you solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're confused because you know something's going wrong that's not right. So you're like, how do I get out of this, right?
How do I get out of it?
So like, it's a very uncomfortable state to be in, like a state of constant growth, because up until this point in my life, I kind of went with the flow.
Right.
Just kind of let things be what they are, and was okay with a lot of the positions that I was in, was okay with not grinding for more, or okay with not obtaining more, or okay with doubting certain things about myself. And now I'm so unokay with it. Like I'm like, I do it and I'm like, no, this is not right. Like, you have to be better. You can't get through this year. You can't get through this day. You can't get through this month and be okay with doing the same things that got you in this place. Not saying where I'm at is wrong, but I know for 100% fact I could be a lot farther if I put a lot more work into the things that I did.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a place of confusion, right? But I look upon that with joy, because I can tell that this year so far, 2024, has been different than any year. Like, I
agree.
With my trainer, every day, not every day, but every one of our sessions, like I don't miss one. And he reminds me, he was like, man, you haven't missed a session all year. He's like, you haven't. He's like, you come in here and you grind every day. He even told me one time, bro, like I pushed through this workout, and he was like, yo, he's like, I appreciate you. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, I appreciate you coming in here and giving it your all. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that, though, like you said, I'm not seeing some of the results that I want to see, the fact that I'm able to get up when I don't want to, because a lot of days I don't want to get up and go work out. Like, I'm able to read the Bible when days that I don't want to read the Bible.
Right.
When I'm able to come do the podcast on days where I'm like, well, I don't really want to drive up here to do this. Like, I see the consistent growth, bro, and it makes me feel so good.
Bro,
but it's just a state of confusion at times.
when you just said that your trainer saying he see you working, he see you pushing through, and he appreciates you even striving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro. I just had like I guess like spirit telling me like God feel the same way about us though.
Yeah.
Like he sees us going, like he sees all of this. We talking about it, we're being vocal about it, but we would be naive to think that he would see us and not be appreciative, not be pleased to see like how we've kind of like morphed our content, morphed our habits, morphed our thoughts into doing our best to try to get along with him.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I guess just from like, for us to take that in as well as like, God see us. You feel me? Like he gonna remember us. You feel me? Like we doing all of this.
Yeah.
So now we should have an anticipated outcome in the midst of us growing.
Patience and belief.
You feel me? Like now we should be believing while we're waiting for everything to come to pass, believing and keep working that like God will remember us.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like we are walking with him.
Even when we do wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Like I promise you, bro. Like, you know what's crazy, bro? Like back in the day when we were like pregame. For real, bro.
We was a bottle of pregame boys.
You feel me? You're talking about bottle boy. Y'all talking about pouring bottles on the couches?
Wow, we was pouring them in shot glasses.
Bro, throwing them back, pause, right? So like, bro, but what's crazy though, right, is even during the pre-games, I remember times, bro, we would talk about God.
Yeah. We would just have crazy conversations.
Like we would,
not crazy, great conversations.
You know what I'm saying? Like we would pre-game, but there would still be like something super deep. And like sometimes I remember even like us pre-game and like we even got like, and maybe, I don't know, debate your mama, right? Like we ain't perfect, but like we'll be pre-gaming, bro, taking shots, and then we got Kirk Franklin on. You know what I'm saying? We got things going on. We're talking about things that people would normally talk about in a church or in a spiritual growth conference that we was doing in our living room.
Yeah.
So it was always kind of like in us. You feel me? But like now it's actually
being displayed
and
being comfortable to display.
That's what I think it was. It's amazing, right? And we'll start wrapping it up soon. But it's like you think of a rapper, right? To go in the booth to get comfortable,
takes a while.
They doing drugs. To be vulnerable, to talk about some pain that they going through, they gotta take shots, smoke some weed, right? In a way, bro, that was kind of like us. We were like getting lit, you feel me, to be comfortable to even talk about
what was going on.
What was going on in us. Our deeper thoughts. Like even to be comfortable to talk about God. We getting comfortable to talk about God. Not even it's a subconscious thing. We don't even realize we're doing it, but we'll get comfortable, right? All right, now that we cool to be vulnerable, whatever, we'll talk about God because now we lit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just crazy to kind of like reminisce and think about all of that and see like where we've grown from, like where we've come from to like now and being in 2024, being consistent for a few months and already seeing it.
That's
bro,
huge.
we got like 115 people listening to us. Like I don't take that for granted.
Hey, no, that's dope. That's dope.
Like
that's
I
huge.
don't take for granted 115 people are like, yo, we like what y'all
like
saying.
what you're talking about.
Like we going through this. Like 150, bro. That's a lot of people.
Imagine
bro.
we had 115 people in a room.
That's what I'm
to them.
saying.
You would look at it and be like, yo, that's huge.
Like if we had 115 people in this room right now, we'd be like, it's packed.
Yeah.
It is
there
packed.
would be no room.
There's standing room only. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all listening to what we have to say,
Hey,
and y'all nodding.
That means a lot.
Like y'all want to get notifications to know that we've dropped something.
Yeah. That
like
means a lot.
Y'all want people like commenting on like what we say. That is
shout out
crazy,
y'all. Yo. Shout out y'all for being here.
Hey yo, I wouldn't say that crazy, but it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like, I say that to say not, bro. It's only 115 people. People be like, why are you tripping? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I don't take that for granted.
We came from 2, and it was us 2.
And it was us 2.
It came from 2, and it was us 2. Doing pause breaks.
Bro,
pause.
Yeah, all right.
The commercial breaks.
We used to, and we may even start doing this, but when we started getting brand deals and all this stuff, this is just an inside look, right? We used to be in the living room on Anchor, the app Anchor, right? I don't even know if they still got that joint. Anchor app, bro, recording. Didn't have any resources, no materials. We passing the phone back and forth.
As
literally. A mic. I would talk to he talked and I talked. And we pass it back and forth, and we'd be like, "All right, we'll be right back with a commercial break," and we'll just pause.
Nothing, just silent.
Right? Like no putting the phone on mute. Like just going quiet.
You listen to the video, you hear us passing the phone back and forth. Yeah, bro. I was telling bro. But that's the type of like early conviction that we had. Like we were so delusional. We were so delusional to literally take a pause in between a podcast where it's just us two listening.
Where it's just us two
for a commercial break.
And never even put it out.
And now like you gotta think like now we got 115 subscribers. Like you can't take these wins for granted. It's not even a little win, that's a big win.
That's huge.
Like the fact that we even started putting content out is a big win. The fact that it's morphed into this, it's a big win. The fact that we got a background with Freewenow on, it's a big win. The fact that we got editing, it's a big win. The fact that we love to come and do this, it's a big win. Like you can't take any of the steps that's in your gift or your goal as a little win. That's huge.
That's huge. Hey, that kind of turned me up. This last little 10, 15 minutes, that don't turn me up though, for real. Just knowing where we've come from, and bro, and then like just like thinking about that anticipated outcome of where we would be, bro. Like
special content,
bro. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. Catch fire. Yeah, I ain't listening, bro. They ain't listening. Hey, man, this was a great pod. I grew a lot from this pod. I didn't even know we was gonna take this direction tonight.
We didn't.
Like I didn't, and I feel like each time us being consistent has also shown up consistent growth. Has caused consistent growth in our lives, bro. What you got for the people?
Hey, man, not much for y'all, man. Just continue to go after y'all gifts. Continue to go after y'all passions. Continue to do it tirelessly. Continue to be confused because you have to find a solution when you're confused.
Absolutely.
Love y'all, man. 115. Shout out y'all.
Man, that's crazy work. Freewenow?
Till it is backwards.
Yeah.